The story begins in a city filled with towering skyscrapers. The night sky is illuminated by countless fireflies, and the people standing below gaze in awe, saying, "Wow, so many fireflies are lighting up the sky tonight. They look so beautiful." The scene then shifts to a girl standing at the edge of a rooftop. She seems lost in thought. Suddenly, a voice calls out from behind. A young man rushes toward her, shouting, "Sister, stop, you can't do this." The girl turns around with a faint smile and says, "Xianho, I'm sorry, I can't go on anymore." Before he can stop her, she jumps off the building, desperate to save her. Xianho sprints to her, but he is too late. In a split-second decision, he leaps after her, plunging from the building alongside her. As they both fall, Xianho's thoughts race. He mutters, "Is this how it ends? Am I really going to die like this?" Just then, he notices a strange, glowing red object in front of him. Confused, he gasps, "What is that? What is it doing here?" The mysterious object emits a radiant light, and before he can react, it shoots toward him, merging into his right hand. The glowing entity completely absorbs into his body. The siblings crash to the ground. Onlookers rush toward them in panic, dialing for an ambulance. Amidst the chaos, a robotic voice echoes in the air. "Host binding complete. However, the target's life energy is critically low. Begin repairs immediately." 10 days later, Xianho abruptly wakes up in his bed, gasping for air. He looks at himself in disbelief, muttering, "Am I alive? But how? I don't even have a single injury." Confused but intrigued, he decides to take a shower. Afterward, he stands in front of the mirror, carefully examining his body. Despite falling from such a great height, there isn't even a scratch on him. He clenches his fist and places it against his chest, his expression turning fierce. "Su Chaoxing, you killed my sister. I will make you pay for this." As he speaks, the camera pans to his right hand, revealing a strange mark that wasn't there before. The scene shifts to Xianho standing in front of a massive skyscraper, the headquarters of the Shengda Group. He steps inside, his presence immediately drawing attention. 2 guards block his path and sneer. "Hey, kid, how dare you come here? Did you forget what happened the last time?" Xianho glares at them and replies coldly, "Go, call Su Chaoxing. I have some unfinished business with him." One of the guards, enraged by Xianho's defiance, lunges at him, yelling, "Stay right there. I'll teach you a lesson you won't forget. Kids like you only learn with pain." Before the situation escalates further, the second guard receives a call on his walkie-talkie. It's from Su Chaoxing himself. The guard hesitates before relaying the message. "Bring Xianho inside." Moments later, Xianho is escorted to a luxurious room where Su Chaoxing sits nonchalantly on a plush sofa. As Xianho steps in, Su Chaoxing looks up with a sly smirk and says, "So, tell me, what do you want from me?" Xian, consumed with rage, yells at Su Chaoxing, "You forced my sister to take her own life, and now you're sitting here enjoying yourself as if nothing happened." Su Chaoxing smirks coldly and responds, "Hey, kid, watch your mouth. I didn't kill your sister. She committed suicide, so stop throwing baseless accusations at me." Hearing this, Xian's anger boils over. "Suicide? Are you seriously claiming my sister killed herself?" Furious, he pulls a knife from his jacket and charges at Chaoxing, but before he can strike, one of Chaoxing's guards intercepts, delivering a powerful kick to Xian's stomach, sending him crashing to the floor. Chaoxing stands up, his face twisted in mockery, and begins kicking Xian mercilessly. "You're trying to kill me, huh? Do you even know where you are? This place is under constant CCTV surveillance. If I kill you here, it'll be considered self-defense." Chaoxing keeps beating Xian, leaving him bruised and bloodied on the floor. The scene then shifts to the bustling streets outside the building. People are going about their day when suddenly, an eerie figure emerges from the crowd, a man who looks disturbingly like a zombie. Chaos ensues as screams pierce the air, and panic spreads among the people. A man shouts, "Someone is eating another person. Somebody help, please." Back inside the building, Su Chaoxing receives a call from one of his men. "Young master, outside, people have gone insane. They're attacking and eating each other." Chaoxing, confused and irritated, replies, "What nonsense are you spouting? Who's attacking who, and why?" Before the man can explain further, he lets out a blood-curdling scream as if he's been attacked. The sudden silence on the other end of the call unsettles Chaoxing. and he orders his guards. Keep an eye on Xian. I'll go check out what's happening outside. As Xiaoxing leaves, Xian lies motionless on the ground, broken and defeated. Tears stream down his face as he whispers to himself. I'm sorry, sister. I couldn't avenge you. I'm weak, useless. But deep within his mind, a fiery determination begins to burn. No, I need power. I need power. Suddenly, a mysterious voice echoes in his mind. Hive activation initiated. Host integration complete. Basic skill bone blade acquired. The scene shifts to Xian's body glowing faintly as the mysterious voice explains. The bone blade skill enhances the host's bones, making them incredibly strong and as sharp as a sword. The host can now cut through anything with ease. Meanwhile, the two guards standing nearby exchange nervous whispers. Hey, what do you think is happening outside? Should we go and check? The other guard shakes his head. The boss told us to stay here. Don't try to think for yourself. Just then, Xian slowly gets up, his bloodied face now calm, yet his eyes burn with a newfound determination. The mark on his right hand begins to glow faintly, and his transformation is just about to unfold. Xian quietly approaches the two guards from behind. His eyes now glow a menacing red, and his entire demeanor radiates danger. One of the guards, noticing Xian standing tall despite his injuries, grows furious and storms over, grabbing Xian by the collar. He snarls, "You little punk, how are you still standing?" Before he can strike, a blade-like weapon suddenly pierces through the guard's chest. The horrifying part? The blade extended from Xian's hand. Xian stares at the blood dripping from the blade, a sinister smile spreading across his face. Slowly, he licks the blood off the edge, his expression both terrifying and unnerving. Turning his gaze to the second guard, Xian steps forward. The remaining guard, paralyzed with fear, stammers, Why you're a monster." Terrified, the guard drops to his knees, pleading, "Listen, kid, we were just following our boss's orders. That's all we were doing, just our job." As he begs, he discreetly pulls out a weapon from his belt and lunges at Xian. However, Xian is quicker. With a single strike, he eliminates the second guard. Both guards now lay lifeless on the ground. Xian's hand blade retracts and disappears, leaving him momentarily shocked. He looks at his hands, murmuring, What just happened to me?" He crouches over the bodies and, almost instinctively, stretches his hand toward them. A strange energy begins to flow from the guards into Xian, as if he's absorbing their life force. Once the process is complete, Xian stands up, staring at his hands with a mix of horror and fascination. "Did I just kill two people? If the police find out, they'll never let me go." But then a smirk spreads across his face. "I came here for revenge, and I've almost achieved it. These people killed me once already. Killing them was only justice." As he prepares to leave, a horde of zombies suddenly appears, blocking his path. Their grotesque figures and lifeless eyes lock onto him before they lunge. Xian, taking a defensive stance, mutters, "So, this is what Xiaoxing was talking about on the phone." His resolve hardens, and he shouts, "I survived death once, and I'm not dying so easily this time." Activating his bone blade, he charges at the zombies, slashing through them with ease. The battle is brutal. Though Xian cuts through dozens, the horde begins to overwhelm him. One zombie manages to scratch his face, leaving a deep cut. His energy wanes, but with sheer determination, Xian finishes them all off. After the fight, Xian collapses onto one knee, breathing heavily. Suddenly, the mysterious voice from before echoes in his head. Hive energy critically low. Recharge immediately. Panting, Xian looks around, his eyes landing on the lifeless zombies. Recharge. Energy? Can I recharge from them? Hesitant but desperate, he places his hand over one of the corpses. To his surprise, a flow of energy transfers into him, but as it does, an excruciating pain shoots through his arm. He cries out in agony as a strange purple vein-like pattern begins to spread from his hand to his neck, resembling poison. The pain overwhelms him, and everything goes dark. When he opens his eyes again, he finds himself floating in a strange, surreal place. The sky is a swirl of vibrant colors, and an eerie silence fills the air. Looking around, Xian mutters, "Where am I? Did I die? Is this the underworld?" The mysterious voice returns, speaking clearly and firmly. "Your genetic structure has reached the threshold for evolution. First stage evolution has now begun." As Xian's consciousness floats in the mysterious space, A radiant red aura begins to form around his body. Confused and apprehensive, he asks aloud, "What is this place? What's happening to me?" The same enigmatic voice that had spoken to him earlier answers, "This is the hive space. Your consciousness has been transferred here. In this realm, you can train, practice, and unlock new abilities and skills to enhance your strength." Still wary, Xian responds, "I don't know who or what you are, but I've already been infected by those monsters. It's only a matter of time before I become one of them." The voice calmly reassures him, "Your body has already transitioned into its primary state, significantly enhancing your immune system. The infection will not affect you. Furthermore, you are now a stage 1 bloodthirster. The more hive energy you consume, the faster your cells will regenerate, allowing you to heal rapidly and sustain your survival." A surge of energy courses through Xian, and the voice continues, "Your energy levels have been fully restored. You currently have 4 energy points available for consumption." From now on, the voice speaking to Xian will be referred to as the system. Back to the story. Xian, still skeptical, demands, "Explain my current condition in detail." The system responds, "You are currently in a near-death state. Your body is absorbing viral energy to gain more energy points. These points can be used to strengthen your genetic evolution, learn new powers, and master advanced bloodthirster abilities." The system then projects a holographic profile before Xian, displaying all his current stats and abilities. Intrigued, Xian asks, "How can I learn new abilities and skills? How do I level up from my current state?" The system explains, "You are currently a stage 1 bloodthirster. Your primary skill is Bone Blade, which you have fully mastered. However, further progression requires you to upgrade from stage 1 to stage 2. Once you achieve this evolution, more advanced information and abilities will become available to you." Irritated by the incomplete explanation, Xian snaps, "Fine, but at least tell me about the bloodthirst beetle skill." The system complies. Bloodthirst beetles are tiny, less powerful creatures that can gather intelligence within a certain range and transfer energy to their host. While they lack raw strength, their utility lies in their ability to collect energy autonomously. Hearing this, Xian smirks. "A skill that collects energy for me? This is perfect. I want to learn the bloodthirst beetle skill immediately, and please, return my consciousness to my body as soon as possible." Acknowledging his request, the system unlocks the bloodthirst beetle skill. A sudden surge of power drains 20 energy points from Xian's reserve, leaving him with only 4 energy points. Once the skill is unlocked, the system speaks again. "Skill unlocked, now transferring your consciousness back to your physical body." Xian feels a sudden jolt as his consciousness begins to return. As Xian's consciousness returns to his body, he immediately activates his newly acquired bloodthirst beetle skill. Swarms of tiny, insect-like creatures materialize around him and head toward the corpses of nearby zombies. The beetles extract energy from the lifeless bodies and transfer it back to Xian. He feels a surge of strength as his energy steadily replenishes. Observing the effectiveness of his new skill, Xian smirks and mutters to himself, "These insects are incredible. Not only have my skills evolved, but my body feels completely transformed." Testing his newfound power, Xian punches a nearby wall. The concrete shatters on impact, leaving a gaping hole. Staring at the destruction he caused, he grins and declares, "I have immense power now. It's time to exact my revenge." Determined, Xian commands his beetles to scout and locate Shu Chaoxing. Shortly after, the beetles relay information about Chaoxing's location, guiding Xian to his target. Shu Chaoxing, Xian growls, "I'll deliver a death so unforgettable that even the afterlife won't spare you its memory." The scene shifts to the rooftop of the building, where Shu Chaoxing is waiting with a young woman. She anxiously asks, "Chaoxing, the helicopter will come, right? We'll make it out of here safely, won't we?" Irritated, Chaoxing scoffs, "Are you joking? Do you even know who I am? This entire city knows Shu Chaoxing. Arranging a helicopter is child's play for me. It will be here in 5 minutes." However, as time passes, doubt and fear creep in. An hour later, the young woman begins to panic. "It's been almost an hour, and no one has come to rescue us. All communications are down. I think we're doomed." Her words push Chaoxing over the edge. He slaps her hard across the face, shouting, "Shut up! Stop crying like a lunatic." Stunned, she retaliates by pushing him back, but this enrages Chaoxing further. Grabbing her by the throat, he threatens, "If you don't calm down, I swear I'll throw you off this rooftop myself. Terrified, the woman tearfully apologizes and goes quiet. Moments later, a loud banging is heard at the rooftop door. Xiaoxing freezes, his confidence wavering as he whispers. Could it be monsters trying to break in? No, that's impossible. These doors are reinforced steel. There's no way they can get through. Before he can finish his thought, a deafening crash echoes across the rooftop. The steel door bursts open, and Xian strides in. His presence is commanding, his aura menacing. Xiaoxing glares at him in disbelief. Those two guards couldn't even handle one boy? The camera cuts to a flashback of the woman standing beside Xiaoxing. In her past, she had been in love with Xian but had left him because he wasn't wealthy. Now, seeing Xian in his transformed state, her expression is a mixture of shock and regret. Xian's gaze pierces through her, his voice cold and unforgiving. So, you left me for this man, Xu Xiaoxing, all because I wasn't rich? The rooftop air thickens with tension, setting the stage for an impending confrontation that promises blood, betrayal, and vengeance. Hearing Xian's words, Xiaoxing smirks and asks, "Do you two know each other?" Panicking, the woman stammers, "Xiaoxing, don't misunderstand me. This guy used to harass me. I never loved him. He just kept following me around." She adds with disdain, "My standards aren't so low that I'd ever fall for someone like him." Xiaoxing chuckles devilishly. "This world is truly strange, isn't it? I never expected the two of you to be connected." Turning to his guards, he commands, "Kill him. I want him to know what happens to those who dare oppose me." The guards charge at Xian, but he swiftly dispatches them all with a single sweep of his bone blade. Blood splatters the rooftop, leaving Xiaoxing and the woman stunned. Terrified, she mutters, "Xian, he's become a monster." Xian laughs darkly and replies, "You're absolutely right. I've become a monster, and in this world, only monsters can survive. Becoming one was the only logical choice for me." Seeing Xian's overwhelming power, Xiaoxing's confidence crumbles. Dropping his arrogance, he speaks humbly, "Xian, I admit it. It was my fault. Your sister's death, it was all because of me. But she's gone now, isn't she? Killing me won't change the past. I'm ready to accept any punishment for what I did, and as compensation, I'll give you all the money you want." Xian, staring coldly, responds, "You're right. Revenge won't bring her back." Relieved, Xiaoxing smiles nervously and says, "You truly have a big heart. Tell me your bank account number, and I'll transfer the money right now." He reaches into his blazer, but before he can pull anything out, Xian lunges forward and severs his hand. Screaming in agony, Xiaoxing clutches his bleeding stump. "Do you still want revenge?" Xian smirks and says, "You said you were ready to accept any punishment for your sins, didn't you?" Xiaoxing forces a hollow laugh through the pain. True, my fault entirely. I forgot the rules of this game." Just then, a loud commotion erupts from the stairwell. A massive swarm of zombies breaks through the gate and floods the rooftop. Terrified, the woman shrieks, "There are so many zombies." Xian calmly observes the chaos. "The smell of blood here is too strong. I can bet that's why they're here." Turning his back, he walks toward the edge of the rooftop and says to Xiaoxing and the woman, "Make the most of your last moments." As Xian prepares to leave, the woman chases after him, pleading, "Xian, I know I wronged you in the past, but please don't leave me here. Take me with you." Without even looking back, Xian coldly replies, "You chose Xiaoxing over me, didn't you? Now go and stay with him." With these final words, Xian leaps off the rooftop, leaving Xiaoxing and the woman behind to face the merciless onslaught of the zombie horde. Xian jumps across to another roof, leaving behind Xiao and the girl as the zombies close in on them. Chao, shouting with anger and desperation, yells at Xian, "Even in death, I won't forgive you, Xian, and don't think for a second that after killing me, you'll live a peaceful life. My family will avenge me." Hearing this, Xian laughs mockingly and responds, "I just hope your family survives these zombie attacks. Only then can they take their revenge on me." Xian then starts moving towards another location. Shortly after, we see him sitting inside a building. He commands the system to display his stats. The system complies, showing Xian's host level as stage 1 and his energy points as 10 out of 100. Suddenly, a system notification appears, informing him about a new skill called Identify. To unlock this skill, Xian must spend 10 energy points. Without hesitation, Xian tells the system to activate the skill. sacrificing all his remaining energy points. The Identify skill unlocks, granting Xian the ability to analyze his target's types and strengths within a certain range. Eager to test this new skill, Xian summons his bloodthirst insects. These insects begin scouting the nearby zombies and send back detailed information to Xian. After analyzing the data, Xian smirks and says, "There aren't too many of them. I can take them down and absorb their energy easily." He steps outside, approaching the zombies, and activates his Identify skill. This allows him to gain comprehensive details about the zombies, including their types and the circumstances that turned them into the undead. Impressed, Xian remarks, "This skill is incredibly useful." He then activates his blade and confidently says, "These zombies are all stage 0, no match for me, since my level is higher." With that, Xian begins slashing through the zombies one by one. While fighting, he mocks them, saying, "Killing these zombies is nothing for me. They're weak, brainless creatures. The only threatening thing about them is how terrifying they look." After a short but intense battle, Xian successfully eliminates all the zombies. Exhausted but victorious, he notices another wave of zombies approaching. His energy reserves critically low. Xian decides to retreat. He quickly finds shelter in a room and stays silent to avoid drawing attention. Inside the room, Xian summons his bloodthirst insects again. He instructs them to extract energy from the corpses of the zombies he just killed to replenish his own energy. The insects do their job, absorbing the energy from the fallen zombies, while Xian starts recovering. After a while, Xian feels fully healed. However, this process costs him 2 more energy points, leaving him with a renewed resolve and the realization that the real challenges are still ahead. To heal himself, Xian observes and remarks, "Last time, I had to spend 4 points to heal. Looks like the energy points required depend on the severity of the injuries." Curious, he asks the system, "Is there any way to improve my combat skills?" The system replies, "You can enhance your combat skills by fighting enemies in the Mother Nest space. Any improvements will directly reflect on your body. Additionally, the flow of time in the Mother space is different from the real world. 7 days in the Mother space are equivalent to only 12 hours in the real world." Hearing this, Xian muses aloud, "So all the improvements I make will apply to my body in the real world. If I build my strength in the Mother space, it will increase here too. And with the time difference, 7 days in there equals just 12 hours here. If I train in the Mother space for a year, I'll become immensely strong in just a few months in the real world. This is amazing." Excited, he tells the system, "I want to train inside the Mother space. Take me there." The system informs him, "To enter the Mother space, you need 100 points. Unfortunately, you don't have enough energy points right now, so you can't access it." Disappointed, Xian sighs, 100 points. Forget it for now. I'll save energy points later for special training. Right now, I need to master my basic skills first." Determined, he adds, "To increase my energy levels, I need to kill more zombies." Xian steps outside and begins hunting the zombies in the area. After a relentless fight, he manages to eliminate all of them. Using his bloodthirst insects, he absorbs energy from the fallen zombies. This time, Xian's energy points increase to 60 points, making him exclaim, "Finally, I've reached 60 points." Realizing he still has a long way to go, Xian declares, "I need to find a new area to hunt and increase my energy points further." As he looks ahead, he notices a group of zombies approaching him. Among them, one stands out, a massive, monstrous zombie that looks far more dangerous than the others. Using his Identify skill, Xian scans the creature and discovers that it's a muscle zombie, a variant type with a 1-star rank. The system reveals that the zombie absorbs energy to enhance its strength and is 10 times more powerful than a regular human. Xian feels a twinge of unease as he processes this information. He asks the system, "What exactly is a variant, and why does its rank have a star next to it?" The system explains, "When any creature absorbs a significant amount of energy, it evolves into a powerful variant. The star in the rank indicates its level of power. The more stars, the stronger the variant." Hearing this, Xian murmurs, "It's been almost a day, and I've already become a bloodthirsty being, but I'm not the only one growing stronger. Even these creatures, zombies included, are evolving into variants. This world isn't just about survival anymore, it's a race to become the strongest." The muscle zombie roars loudly and charges towards Xian, swinging a powerful punch at him. Xian blocks the attack but feels its immense force. Gritting his teeth, he says, This thing is insanely strong. If my body were still the same as before, I'd be dead for sure. Before he can react further, the muscle zombie attacks again. Zian barely dodges and mutters to himself, I didn't expect it to be this powerful. Determined, Zian activates his blade and lunges at the muscle zombie, aiming for its chest, but the zombie grabs the blade mid-strike, stopping the attack with ease. It counters by grabbing Zian by the neck and lifting him into the air. Zian struggles, gasping for breath, and realizes the dire situation he's in. Summoning his strength, he slashes the muscle zombie's arm with his blade, forcing it to release him. Coughing, Zian stumbles back and thinks, this isn't like the other zombies, it has self-awareness. The muscle zombie lets out another thunderous roar, summoning nearby zombies for reinforcements. Zian watches in disbelief as more undead start converging on him. Panic sets in as he says, it's calling for backup? Is this how I die? Even after gaining so much power? No, I refuse to die this easily. He quickly orders the system, activate Swift Wind Step. The system complies, activating the skill and explaining. Swift Wind Step channels all strength to the user's legs, greatly enhancing speed. It can be used for rapid attacks, but overuse may cause severe injuries. As the skill activates, Zian feels an intense surge of strength in his legs. Without wasting time, he charges at the group of zombies. His speed becomes so overwhelming that even the muscle zombie struggles to keep track of him. Zian first targets the regular zombies, eliminating them swiftly with precise attacks. Once the lesser zombies are dealt with, Zian focuses on the muscle zombie. He launches a flurry of rapid strikes, hitting it multiple times, but as he steps back to assess the damage, his eyes widen in shock. The muscle zombie remains unscathed. The beast retaliates by lifting and throwing nearby zombies at Zian like projectiles. Exhausted, Zian dodges each one but realizes he's reaching his limit. Breathing heavily, he thinks, I'll have to use every ounce of my power to bring this thing down. Preparing for a final assault, Zian channels all his strength and launches himself at the muscle zombie. With one decisive strike, he decapitates the monstrous creature, finally ending the fight. However, the effort drains him completely, leaving him barely able to stand. Just as Zian tries to catch his breath, a stray zombie manages to sneak up and bite his arm. Crying out in pain, Zian quickly dispatches it with his blade, but before he can react, another zombie attacks from behind. Zian whirls around and slays it as well, though his exhaustion grows with each passing moment. Bloodied and fatigued, Zian clutches his wounded arm and thinks grimly, this world won't let me rest for even a moment. After the intense battle, Zian collapses onto the ground, utterly drained. He orders the system to heal his body. The system begins the healing process, but this time it costs him a total of 10 energy points due to the severity of his injuries. Once healed, Zian sits up and immediately sends his bloodthirst insects to the fallen zombies, commanding them to absorb the remaining energy. As he rises, he notices the severed head of the muscle zombie and approaches it to examine further. Suddenly, an insect bursts out of the zombie's mouth and lunges at him. Zian swiftly cuts it down with his blade, and to his surprise, discovers a diamond-like object inside the insect's body. Curious, Zian uses his identify skill to scan the object. The system informs him, this is a virus core with an energy value of 25. Virus cores are typically found in mutants and can be used to enhance genetic energy. Hearing this, Zian smirks and mutters, so, killing mutants has its perks after all. He pockets the virus core and then proceeds to absorb energy from the muscle zombie's body. His energy points rise to 70, and Zian remarks, mutant zombies are definitely more rewarding than regular ones. I gained 30 energy points from this one alone. I'll need to hunt more mutants if I want to grow stronger. Determined, Zian reflects, the path to becoming stronger is still a long one, but before I move forward, I need to find a secure spot to absorb this virus core. Leaving the area, Zian searches until he finds a quiet and safe place. He begins the absorption process, but as the virus core integrates with his body, he feels an intense wave of pain. The system explains, this genetic enhancement will significantly increase your gene strength as well as your physical attributes. However, the process is painful. Despite the discomfort, Zian endures the transformation, gritting his teeth through the pain. After what feels like an eternity, the system finally announces, the process is complete. Your gene strength and physical attributes have been significantly enhanced. Zian clenches his fists and feels the newfound power coursing through his body. He stands taller, his movements lighter yet more powerful. With renewed determination, he whispers to himself, "This is just the beginning.